Welcome to the Michigan Education Issues Podcast. This is podcast number 3, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 ways to teach innovation. This article comes from The Mindset, and it's an excellent resource. I think a lot of the times we are so focused on what's the newest and latest type of teaching that we should be doing, and what's the newest resource and the newest trend, but a lot of these things are actually things that have just kind of been recycled through the years and things that are just core things that we should keep very simple in our teaching practices. This is from the Mind Shift. It's called How We Learn, 10 Ways to Teach Innovation. The article came from April of 2 years ago, actually. And it looks at several things we need to do. And I just want to read through part of it just to kind of get started. Let's see here. One overriding challenge is now coming to the fore in public consciousness. We need to reinvent just about everything. And that's a pretty common idea. I think people are always thinking, what is the newest thing that I have to do? What's the thing this year? Whether scientific advances, technology breakthroughs, new political and economic structures, environmental solutions, or an updated code of ethics for the 21st century life, everything is in flux. And everything demands innovative and out-of-the-box thinking. The burden of reinventation, of course, falls on today's generation of students. So it follows that education should focus on fostering innovation by putting curiosity, critical thinking, deep understanding, the rules and tools of inquiry, and creative brainstorming at the center of the curriculum. This is hardly the case, as we know it. In fact, innovation and the current classroom model often operate as antagonists. The system is evolving, but not quickly enough to get young people ready for the new world. But there are a number of ways that teachers can bypass the system and offer students the tools and experiences that spur and innovate the mindset. Here are 10 ideas. And so number 1 is move from projects to project-based learning. And I've learned quite about that over the last year. And that's something I'm always striving to do in my own classroom. And I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And students really learn how to think deeply when they're involved in project-based learning, not just random projects assigned necessarily. You should also teach concepts rather than just facts. And concept-based instruction overcomes the fact-based, rote-oriented nature standardized curriculum. If your curriculum is not organized conceptually, use your own knowledge and resources to teach ideas and depth of understanding, not just test items, not just facts, because students cannot use those later on. It's more about the depth, the understanding, the critical thinking that goes in, and the big picture items. Number 3 is to distinguish concepts from critical information. Prepare students for tests is part of the job, but they need more information to move in, or more information for the important reason to innovate. They need to know how to do something. Craft precedes the art. They find the right blend between open-ended inquiry and direct instruction. Let's see here. The next one, make skills as important as knowledge. And again, it's not about what you know anymore, but it's about how you find that information, what you do with it, and the depth you can go with that information. Because not anybody can just look up information online. Form teams, not groups. Innovation now emerges from teams and networks, whereas we can teach students to work collectively and become better critical thinkers. Group work is common, but teamwork is rare. Use specific methods to form teams. Assess teamwork, work ethic, facilitate high-quality interaction through protocols and critique. Teach the cycle of revision and expect students to reflect critically on their ongoing work. So use teams rather than groups. And I think that's definitely more workplace centered too. Use thinking tools. Use creativity tools. I did hear at one point that they are considering new degrees in creativity at the university level, so that kind of goes with that. It's kind of interesting. Reward discovery. Innovation mightily discouraged by our system of assessment, which rewards the mastery of information known. Set up a reward system by using rubrics with blank column to acknowledge and reward the innovation and creativity. I call it a breakthrough column. All of the rubrics on the PBL tools section of my website through this column, so that's in this article. So reward the discovery. Make reflection part of the lesson. It's really important. Be innovative yourself. And it says this is the kicker, because innovation requires the willingness to fail, focus on the fuzzy outcomes rather than standardized measures, and bravery to resist the system's emphasis on strict accountability. But the reward is kind of a liberating creativity, which makes teaching exciting and fun, engages students, and most critical, helps students to find a passion and resources necessary to design a better life for themselves and others. And again, this came from the Mindset in 2013, and I think it's got several excellent ways to teach innovation. So that is today's podcast.